Ahoy, landlubbers, YouTube and present. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking, and today is a very important day for two reasons. First, hashtag dating this recording. It is August 1st, 2018, which means, among other things, that it is apparently Spider-Man Day, something I hilariously was not aware of before wearing a Spider-Man shirt today. I feel well informed. So that's fun. I tried to do some research to figure out why August 1st of all days is Spider-Man Day. Came across nothing. I don't know. It's just the day people celebrate Spider-Man. And that's great. I love Spider-Man, as you probably know. I'm wearing this shirt. There's a Spider-Man over here on the couch. But more importantly, perhaps, if you behold the viewing globe that is chat, you will see that subscribers now have badges. That's because yesterday, July 31st, 2018, affiliates earned the ability to apply custom subscriber badges. So now, our subscribers have narwhal friends, and they have various hats. And it's pretty great. You should commission a narwhal plushie wearing the BFF. I feel like that would be even more difficult than convincing an artist who has no idea what Resonance of Fate is to draw a pretty darn convincing BFF on a tiny narwhal. I mean, look how small it is. Like, if you're here in chat, you could tell what's up. I don't know if you've expanded your screen or whatever, but, like, I think you know. In any case, with those milestones out of the way, it's time to address Arena. We have some, like, really generic challenges this time around, so we should be able to accomplish a number of them, but it may be worth trying to re-roll one of these, depending on how our deck looks after we draft it, to earn more gold. We can spend gold to get gems via the quick draft exchange. It's like gambling, but not really. So we want the quick draft, and we will draft quickly. And I do believe I will use coins for this because gems are certainly a more valuable resource. I think there's a so far they haven't announced when they expect the game to go out of beta and into release. It's seeming like it is probably relatively soon, and they have said in the past that when the game does go into release, they will wipe everyone's collections. So at some point, we may just have to aggressively stream and, like, use all of our gems to draft, and get as much value as possible out of them. So yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent, but I'm going to spend some coins, and we're going to try and earn some gems. Okay, our first rare is not incredibly exciting. We have the Dark Dweller Oracle. 2 mana, 2/2. You can pay 1 mana and sacrifice a creature to exile the top card of your library and play that card this turn. It's kind of like drawing a card, but it requires you to sacrifice a creature and pay mana, and you can only use it on the turn that you activate the ability. So it's not amazing. Inferno Hellion, I don't really know how to evaluate this card. I lost really badly to this at the pre-release for Core 19, and it was in fact the only deck I lost to at the pre-release, but the real problem was a rare enchantment that says if you cast a creature with power 7 or greater, then deal 4 damage to your opponent and every creature they have. So that card was really the problem. They could have cast like a 7/0 creature that instantly died to state-based effects, and I would have lost that game. I really don't know how to evaluate this card. I don't intend to take it very highly, especially since I already have looked at other cards in this pack and know that I would definitely prefer them to this. Other notable cards, Skymarsh Bloodletter's like pretty good. It's like high on black commons. Druid of the Cowl, also quite good. I think I've said in the past that I feel like ramp is like pretty good in this format if you build your deck right. It's kind of tricky to do that, but just the fact that like large creatures are so difficult to deal with makes ramping like pretty effective. Starcrowned Stag is quite powerful. Most of our losses while drafting on stream have actually been in some way, shape, or form related to Starcrowned Stag, which is interesting and something I've sort of realized in hindsight, which makes me consider this card a little more highly than I did. Not that I ever thought it was bad, just that, like, I mean, that's a pretty good track record. But truly, I think the best card here, while very expensive, is the Meteor Gold. It's a 7-mana 3/3, which obviously isn't great by itself, but when it enters the battlefield, you can destroy any non-land permanent. And additionally, it's colorless, so you can play it in any deck. We don't commit ourselves to anything, and it's a really powerful effect. This format isn't extremely fast most of the time, so you will often be able to cast this. I find that there's often more of a problem with like board stalls and flooding out in this format, so having something really powerful to do with 7 mana seems like a good place to start. If I need to draw a card, I just use Pot of Greed. Alcadius, I don't understand your comment. What does that card do? Can you explain it to me? Alright, so what do we have here now? This pack is very interesting as a follow-up to the first one. So we've got Switcheroo, another card that's slightly difficult to evaluate. Usually, mind control effects, or just like taking control of your opponent's thing is pretty good, because you both remove their ability to have the scariest thing on board, and also gain that same scary thing. In this case, though, you do need something crappy to give them in exchange, because if you just have something good to give them in exchange, then it's not a ton of value for you. There are ways of doing that. They tend to be in, like, black and red, and there's, like, what is it? The 3-mana Thopter, whose name I can't remember, is pretty good for that, because it's like, it draws you a card, and then it's a 1/1, and then you trade the 1/1 for something really good. Declared Dominance is, like, pretty good. It's another one that I have difficulty evaluating exactly how highly I should take it. It's something, I think generally if I'm already in green and there's not a really solid pick over it, I'm pretty happy to take this. But, like, in and of itself, it's kind of removal, and it can just be a win condition, because it makes all of their creatures block the thing that you target and give +3/+3 to. So, like, you make everything block that, and then you attack them for lethal with all your other creatures that they just can't block. So, like, it can be very powerful, but, like, there are also just times when, like, the board is, like, close enough that you play Declare Dominance, and it's like you just trade Declare Dominance in one creature for, like, 2 creatures, and it's not great. Colossal Dreadmaw, surprisingly good in this format, just because big things are good. Rabid Bite is a card I've been trying to figure out how I evaluate it recently, and I think I would sort of describe it similarly to Declare Dominance of, like, I don't think of Rabid Bite as a signal that green is open or a reason to go into green, but I'm pretty happy to take it fairly highly if I'm already in green. You know, Goblin Instigator, I'd love to get some of these maybe if we do play the Switcheroo, because, you know, the token off this, or even just the 1/1 itself, is a good thing to give them in exchange for something good. Like, this pack is generally underwhelming. I think Switcheroo has the highest upside, and is, like, these cards are kind of similar in power level, I think, but I definitely prefer Switcheroo a little bit, and I feel like it's a little bit easier to utilize, so, like, I'm gonna take the Switcheroo, but I don't feel super confident about this. Okay, what are we looking at here? This is another, like, mediocre pack. Mind Rot's okay. Make them discard 2 cards. If you play this at the right time, it can be really annoying, getting rid of their late-game threats or removal or something. Snapping Drake is, like, pretty good. We're already in blue. I definitely like Snapping Drake more than Scholar of Stars in a vacuum. We do have an artifact, but it's a 7-mana artifact, so it's not like we're likely to have it in play before playing Scholar of Stars a lot of the time. In terms of artifacts you might want to play early for a card like Scholar of Stars, Fountain of Renewal is pretty good. Gains you 1 life every turn, can be sacrificed to draw a card at some point if the life gain isn't helpful, or if you just need to draw something. Not a lot of, like, impressive creatures. I kind of like Viashino Pyromancer. It's not an incredible card, but you get 2 power for 2 mana, and it also just deals 2 damage when it enters the battlefield. But as I think I've mentioned before, there's a lot of, like, 1/3s and just, like, a few tokens. And so, like, 2/1s don't seem generally great in this format. So, like, I think for me this pack is, like, between Snapping Drake, Pyromancer, and the Fountain. And, like, I feel like I want to discount Pyromancer, not only because we already have a blue card, but just because it's, like, a lower power level than the 2 of them. I think Snapping Drake is probably best here. I don't know, this pack is just not great. Yes, you are on the verge of the BFF, Alcadius. I know this to be true. So yes, our new Narwhal subscriber badges have various hats, mostly inspired by video games that have been infamously played on YouTube. There's a little Chopin top hat with a stylish feather in it. There's the BFF from Resonance of Fate. There's a pirate hat, which you could argue is from, I don't know, any number of things I've played that have at least some pirate influence in them, but frankly, it's because of pirates. So this pack, like, Gift of Paradise is pretty good as a ramp card. Green hasn't, like, we saw some green in the first, like, 2 packs, but haven't really seen much since then. Enigma Drake can be pretty strong. It's also, as we sort of discussed the last time we took it, and I, like, had to think really hard about it, like, it's a decent blocker at the very least that, like, slows down aggressive decks if you end up being control, which I think the blue-red spell deck in this format tends to be a little more control. I think it's kind of supposed to be tempo, but there just aren't that many aggressive, like, low mana cost creatures in either color to really put on pressure early and make tempo realistic. Totally Lost is fine. It's not great. It's fairly expensive and slow. It's a very powerful effect potentially, but I think I'd rather gamble on Enigma Drake because I think it's better upside if we play it and we're like somewhat likely to play it. Whereas like Totally Lost I might not even necessarily put in my final deck. I would generally try to trim them to 1 or none, so likely have another chance to get it. Like, other stuff in this pack, there's really not a lot. Oaken Form for the sort of, like, Auras deck, which I still haven't seen, like, great examples of. It feels like a really high variance deck that either, like, snowballs out of control by having a good draw, or just sucks. And I'm generally not excited about those kind of decks, but I feel like there's an interesting possible deck there. Just never seen the cards come together. Goblin Motivator can essentially give 1 creature of yours haste per turn, which can be good, but not in the deck that we have the way it's shaping up so far. Gearsmith Guardian is a mediocre 5-drop, but it helps with artifacts. We don't currently have that synergy. I'm going to take the Drake. And suppose you could argue it's Dolce's hat, although it is not specifically modeled after hers, because you could do that. Eternal Sonata had a pirate hat that was integral to the story. Integral might be a strong word. Well, this pack is really interesting. I'm not sure what to make of this. So this is a pretty late Gaspark Twins. I think, like, often I would be happy to take this, like, first or second out of a pack if I was in green. It does cost 7 mana, again, like the Meteor Golem, but it gives you a lot to do because it's a giant 7/7 trampling creature that for some reason can also block an extra creature each turn. Now, that ability rarely comes up, but a 7/7 trampler is quite relevant. Omen Speaker is a nice early drop for a blue deck, especially one looking to be controlling. Skeleton Archer's like pretty good in black. It's like 4 mana, 3/3 with some upside. I don't really feel like we've seen any black at all. And the green's been inconsistent. I feel like we really only saw it early on when it's not strongly a signal. I feel like it may be correct to take this Gaspark Twins, but I really feel like the Omen Speaker's a safer pick here. Because we've seen, like, really no compelling black, I think it's between the 2 non-black cards here. I think I'm just going to stay on target with Omen Speaker for now. Might end up regretting it if green looks open later, but, like, it just... I haven't really gotten a clear sign of that. Yeah, like... This pack doesn't seem to indicate anything very clearly. I guess it's just Marauder's Axe. I mean, we could try and take, like, the green 2-drop, although this seems like a weird time to get into green now. Foul Orchard doesn't seem especially helpful since we're in neither of these colors, and it wouldn't really help us cast... It wouldn't help us, like, potentially splash for any of the Elder Dragons or anything like that we might open up. Marauder's Axe can, you know, if we have stuff like Omen Speaker and, like, low power flyers and stuff, Marauder's Axe can help turn them individually into threats and, you know, help us trade up and get value and stuff like that. While it's not a super high pick for me in a potentially slow blue deck that we're kind of looking to make right now, it's still good. I would definitely take it over these cards, including the Scholar, which is very replaceable. The effect can be very useful. Could take Pyromancer here if we were, like, really going to try and push for the Drake. We could also take Tormenting Voice as a justification for playing the Drake. But I think I'd rather just stay open and take the Cancel for now. Like, nothing in this pack is particularly strong. Just, like, these are reasonably likely to make the deck if we do go red-blue. But, like, I feel like one Cancel that we're taking over not much is very likely to make the deck. Ooh, this pack, though. Oh, this pack, though. This pack really makes me want to be in red. So, like, I would have been, like, reasonably happy with this Bone to Ash. I don't love this card, but, like, if this card does what it's supposed to do, it's very strong. It's just a little... You have to hold up 4 mana to counter a creature spell. So you may remember that the last time we drafted, we had an Essence Scatter held up for, like, 4 turns, and our opponent played no creatures and only pump spells, and we died because our counterspell didn't do anything. So imagine that, but we have to hold up twice as much mana. It can go poorly, is my point. But drawing a card when you counterspell is quite good. But Enigma Drake, it's a good blocker. The more of them I have, the more incentivized I am to do the thing it does. The only other real... I mean, like, Vampire Union's pretty good, but, like, again, like, black hasn't seemed very open. Highland Lake would be reasonable to help us play the Enigma Drake, but I would definitely rather just play Enigma Drakes. So yeah, take this. It's a little speculative, but it does make the earlier Enigma Drake pick look a little better. This pack is kind of just bad. I could take the Ghost form if I thought tempo was a real thing. I kind of don't. I think I'd rather hedge and take, like, Giant Spider or Two-Headed Zombie. They're both, like, pretty good and kind of late. No, black might be open coming from the other direction in pack 2 just because, like, we've seen, like, none of it is a possibility. Oh, that's a late Colossal Dreadmaw, though. I'm gonna take that over virtually nothing and see where that goes. Abnormal Endurance versus Mind Rot? It's, like, kind of close. I've been reasonably impressed with Abnormal Endurance. Like, it can pull double duty, and, like, the fact that it increases your creature's power means it can, like, trade up and kill a bigger creature. And then it can also just, like, save an important card. Like, it just does a lot of things. I think I like it a little more than Mind Rot. I'll take the Oaken form. It's better than the other cards. A green card, because maybe? Hey, we got that Tolarian Scholar anyway. I don't want to play it, but we can. Alright, something great. Okay, this pack's weird. This pack's got a lot going on. So Demon of Catastrophes, 4 mana 6/6 flying trample, but as an additional cost to cast it, you have to sacrifice a creature. So, like, you know, you need to have something to sacrifice. Sacrificing real creatures isn't terribly appealing. Got Lich's Caress, just some nice hard removal, just kills the thing. Can be very helpful. Siegebreaker Giant, I like this card quite a lot. Its stats are a little awkward, but its ability to make creatures unable to block and also natural trample with its high power can do some good work. And I'd say, like, Electrify is the other card worth really considering here. I'm not actually sure what to take between the Siegebreaker and Electrify. I think, generally, I like the Giant a little more. I mean, it's uncommon, you're less likely to see it. But, like, Electrify is, like, more easily splashable, and it helps the Enigma Drakes. So, like, maybe I'm just supposed to take the Electrify? This is a tough pick. Like, I think both of those black cards I pointed out are very strong. But, again, like, black hasn't seemed terribly open. And I don't think Demon of Catastrophes is so strong that I should, like, abandon this plan. Gosh, I don't know. we're a little light on win conditions. Maybe the Siegebreaker Giant's still better? I mean, I guess the Enigma Drakes can be win conditions if we power them up by playing Electrify. Oh, it's kind of close. I think I'm going to take the Electrify, just for the potential to splash it. If somehow it comes down to that, although this deck starts looking really bad if I end up just splashing Electrify and Enigma Drake. Still, my removal's kind of light. This is a tough one. This may be incorrect, but I think red is at least correct. What do we have here? Ooh, Bogart Brute. I like Bogart Brute a good amount, and I've rarely been able to play with it in this format for some reason. The way this deck looks now, I'd like to get like a Frilled Sea Serpent or two, but maybe we'll get some Horizon Scholars or something else that are a little more impressive. Yeah, I think I like Bogart Brute here. It makes our deck look a little more like aggro or tempo or something, but like the alternative is to like lean real hard on going slow and play this Magistrate's Scepter, which I think is just a little too slow. I've seen people try to play it a couple times, and I've never seen anyone in this format manage to activate it and take an extra turn. Reclamation Sage is like pretty strong. Make a Stand can be good in a deck with like lots of tokens or something, but like giving just +1 power is not super exciting. The Indestructible feels a little more relevant. Bristling Boar is like pretty good, but you know, green hasn't been super open. I do like the Bogart Brute over the Devils, both because so far we have relatively little red, and also just like I feel like the menace in this format can be like just super punishing. What do we have here? Oh, this pack. I hate this pack. This pack's all like, you should be playing black-white, except we've seen like a single white card that we would want to play, I think, this entire time, which was a different copy of Starcrowned Stag. I think I'm just supposed to take the Instigator and plan to put my Marauder's Axe on it. I don't think I want 2 axes without some reason to care about having multiple artifacts on the field or something like that. I don't need a second cancel that highly, especially when like I'm a little light on early plays, and like just nothing else in this card incentivizes me to take it out of this pack. Disperse, Pyromancer, Active Treason. Wow, there's been a lot of interesting picks this draft. So like, Divination might be good. It's a sorcery that contributes to the Enigma Drake plan. Draws his cards to get into the late game. We're seeing some more black and white still. Like Ravenous Harpy is a pretty good black card. Take Vengeance is removal. Pegasus Courser can turn almost anything into a threat. And Skymarch Bloodletter is pretty good. Like, basically this pack says don't be green, and like maybe red's not great. I don't think I'd hate Active Treason in this deck, but I think I'd rather have the first Divination over it. That might be wrong. Disperse can also be good against the Aura deck in particular, and it's just like a nice, like, flexible card to have. It can like slow them down if they're doing something crazy. Don't know between Disperse and Divination which one's better for our deck. Well, if, you know, we're starting to lean a little bit more aggressive with some of these red cards we've picked up, so maybe the Disperse as just like a cheap thing to do and clear the way for attacks is a little better. I think it's close, but I like that justification. Tormenting Voice, Anticipate, and Divination. And then some more like random white cards. We've got another life gain payoff, but like I feel like the ship has sailed on that. Artifact payoff, but like we're not in white. We don't have a lot of artifacts. I have a lot pushing me in that direction. Divination and Anticipate. I think I like Divination a little better at the way this deck looks right now. Just because like it'll draw us into like more late game stuff. Whereas Anticipate, I will tend to play on turn 2 a lot of the time in this format. So it's more about like fixing lands. I need more, like, late-game power, I think. I could take Goblin Motivator. I don't think it's very good in this deck. Ah, hello, Katayan, welcome. Enjoy your new Narwhal sub-badge. You are a BFF to the channel. I'm gonna... I guess it's between, like, don't I already have, like, two-headed zombies? Or, I guess I only have one. I could take another two-headed zombie I probably won't play. Or Goblin Motivator, which doesn't look very good in my deck. Yeah, none of this. This pack just seems kind of dead. I guess I'll take the red card because I can. Because I can. Let's see. We could play this generic 2-drop. Again, we don't have any, like, artifact payoffs to make that seem worthwhile. I guess whoever's on my left is somehow also in blue. They're probably not in blue-red because we got 2 Enigma Drakes. Or no. This would be passing to my right? No. I do mean my left, because they're passing to me now. I guess I just take the artifact. Like, I already have a Tolarian Scholar, I already don't want it. Comfortable Chill, Short Strike, Tormenting Voice. I mean, if we're going tempo, Short Strike seems a little better than the others. Uncomfortable Chill is kind of like a weird mid-range card, I find. And, like, I'd like a Tormenting Voice okay, but we do already have Divination. Don't want, like, too many just draw card effects. I take the Sure Strike and just be unhappy about the way this pack is turning out. I guess I get a free Uncomfortable Chill that I don't think I want to play. Hey, a Frilled Sea Serpent. That is actually pretty good, considering how few, like, good cards there were for us in this whole pack. Maybe blue just, like, wasn't open at all this pack. Like, nobody opened blue cards. But, like, this seems like something our deck needs. Another cancel, though I'm not super excited about playing 2 main deck cancels. Take a Neonate because it's good. Ooh, free. Anticipate versus Lava Axe is actually kind of interesting. Our deck is currently in some weird limbo between aggro and control. I think we're still leaning a little bit more aggro, which means maybe we should take the Lava Axe as a way to finish the game. But I just don't think we have enough creatures right now to justify that. I feel like we're better off maintaining flexibility with Anticipate. Island is on theme, so is Mountain. Alright, let's put these basic lands on the sideboard. Ooh, this pack, though. So, we've got a bunch of things going on in our colors. Dismissive Pyromancer. 2 mana 2/2. You can pay red and tap it to discard a card and then draw a card. And then you can pay 2 colorless and red to tap it and sacrifice it to deal 4 damage to a creature. So it's sort of an early attacker that can become removal later, and early on it can also fix your draws a little bit. We also have Sift. 4 mana, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. That's a lot of late game power, assuming that your cards are decent, which ours are okay. We could also take this Horizon Scholar, which this card is just great. We are a little light on win conditions. I think taking the Horizon Scholar would definitely make us a little more like mid-range or slow control-based versus taking this early red drop that is a little more tempo-y. I think I would take the creature over the spell here. Like Horizon Scholar over Sift. Shock's also good, but I don't think Shock's as good as any of these 3 cards. I also, again, don't strongly need a Marauder's Axe right now, and we're a little far from Lich's Caress at this point in the draft. I think I'm going to take Scholar. Be uncertain about it. Like, I'd like more early drops. Early red drop that's, like, a little slow isn't super exciting. I think I'd rather just have a big, scary guy that, like, fixes my draws late game. Dwindle looks pretty good here. Nightly Valor is a good card that we're not close to playing. Enchantment that basically gives your creature plus night, and vigilance, and also... Like, it basically gives it plus night, because it gets +2/+2 in vigilance, which is the stats of a knight in many sets, and also, it makes a knight token that is a 2/2 with vigilance. Dryad Greenseeker, another Groot. This one's real good. Demolition! Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the host as always, and I hope you enjoy your Chopin Hat Narwhal, as we now have subscriber badges. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Dwindle here, but like this card's insane. Like that same deck that totally wrecked me with the weird rare enchantment that like wiped my board also had like 2 copies of it. Like basically my opponent's deck was disgusting. It was like incredibly powerful. So like I don't feel terrible about losing to it. I'm just disappointed that my deck lost to it. Let's go Dwindle. Ooh. Jeez. It was like secretly open, just not at all in pack 1. Like, look at this. We have Hieromancer's Cage and Luminous Bonds in this pack, with like 2 cards missing from it already, which I guess were rare and uncommon of other colors, but like, yikes. Less excited about second Frilled Sea Serpent now that we have Horizon Scholar. Essence Scatter, I'm a little sour on after our experience last time. Also, like, Bogart Brute's pretty good. I like Bogart Brute more than I'm supposed to. I'm gonna take the Bogart Brute and not be sure this is correct, but I feel like this is correct. Okay, we could take another Omen Speaker. Ooh, Aven Wind Mage, though. I think we want the Aven Wind Mage. We don't have a lot of 3s. I don't want to play this Tolarian Scholar. So like currently our actual 3s, well I guess we have 2 Bogart Brute and 2 Enigma Drake. I guess we're like light on 4s with 1 creature and 1 removal spell. Let's just actually look at what our curve looks like. Yeah, our 2s are like awkward. I don't know. Maybe it is actually just Omen Speaker here. Feels like that feels right. I mean, I've already got like 2 3-mana flyers in the form of these Enigma Drakes. They're like a decent thing to give them with Switcheroo. It's like I get the Scry 2 and then I block them a bunch, and then yeah, that seems reasonable. Like I feel like most of the time I'm gonna go Aven Wind Mage, but I think given the way the deck looks right now, Omen Speaker's a little better. Let's see. Disperse, Tormenting Voice. Smelt's not a real option. Nor is Alpine Moon. This is a weird sideboard card for like Modern or something. I'm not sure exactly what it's targeting, but some format where lands are obnoxious is what this card is for. So we've already got a Disperse. Maybe Tormenting Voice is better? I don't know. We are starting to look a little more tempo-oriented this pack. We've got a second Bogart Brute. Any cheap spells we play early power up the Enigma Drake into like a reasonable threat. It's a reasonable chance that Dwindle is cut from this deck from the looks of it. Not guaranteed by any stretch, but plausible. So we could... I mean, I guess my deck's going to end up having enough late game that being, like, super committed to tempo is probably not great, so maybe just Tormenting Voice as, like, another thing to, like, fix my draws is probably good. Super excited about this Motivator, so I'm going to put that to the side. Put in Tormenting Voice. Yeah. What do we have here? Like, nothing I want? I don't think... This deck doesn't seem to have enough creatures. This is going to be a... This is a quick draft, Cotillion. Because we have quick draft going this week, and I generally prefer quick draft just because the competitive drafts just feel a little bit long with the number of matches they want you to play. So, like, I don't think we have enough creatures on the board at the same time. Most of the time for Trumpet Blast to be good in this deck. Totally Lost is like a reasonable tempo card. It's not super exciting. How many actual creatures do we have? I think I have to manually count that. I don't think it will, like, show me statistics until, like, the deck is finished. So we've got 2 Omen Speaker, Goblin Instigator, kind of, but, like, it's not great. 2 Bogart Brute, 2 Enigma Drake, Snapping Drake, Frilled Sea Serpent, and Horizon Scholar. Like 10, like, oh, and Meteor Golem. So like 10-ish, depending on how you count Goblin Instigator. Maybe I'm supposed to take I mean, I literally have only one card at 5 and it's switcheroo. Maybe I should take the fire elemental, just have another creature? Yeah? I mean, I guess Totally Lost is also a 5-mana play. It's just a worse 5-mana play if I don't already have stuff on the board. But I think I have to play like I assume that's happening? I don't know. For some reason, I'm liking Totally Lost here. Dwindle, Comfortable Chill, play another Field Creeper. This is all pretty not great. I think I already have an Uncomfortable Chill if I really want it. Dwindle's like a better card. I could just take Dwindle, even though it doesn't play into our... Oh my god, a third Enigma Drake? I mean, I have to take it, right? Is my deck insane or garbage? I honestly have no idea. I'm glad I, like, prioritized a couple of these just, like, kind of do-nothing early spells. Because they make my, like, army of Enigma Drakes, like, online. I mean, again, Bone Ash is, like, fine. I don't love it, but it's, like, pretty good. Totally Lost is whatever. I already just picked up one. Yeah, I don't think this is close. I think I just take another Enigma Drake and, like, scratch my head a little. Don't really care about anything here. Take a Mind Rod on principle of not wanting it played against me. Oh, Gearsmith Guardian's actually a reasonable pickup here, isn't it? Yeah, alright. Got my, like, 5-mana generic creature. And another Frilled Sea Serpent. I don't think I want all of that noise. Take a Smelt I don't want. Take a single copy of Fog just for tech. Take this Trumpet Blast, because I don't know, maybe. And also I can't take a second copy of Fog because it would defeat the purpose. Okay, so here's kind of what our deck looks like. And yes, to answer your question, Demolition, I am in the LA area. So... How many cards is this? This is 43. That sounds about right. Jeez. I think I right away cut a Serpent. That's weird. It groups 6 and 7 together. Okay, I think I like a Scholar, a Serpent, and the Golem. I could cut one of these 5s. I kind of wish I had a second Disperse, but I think Tormenting Voice is better, and I think that's what I took it over. The fire's bad by you? No! To my knowledge, the fires aren't particularly close to me this time. They usually happen a little further upstate. It's up in San Francisco. Oh, I didn't know that, Demolition. Hoping to evac her. Oh, I hope everything turns out alright with her. Did that a year or two ago. Yeah, there's always fires here. Oh, welcome, Anime. I hope you enjoy your Narwhal sub-badge with Festive BFF, as you are a BFF to the channel. So... Let's take a look at this deck, because I don't know what to do with it. Like, if they just don't remove my Enigma Drakes, I win, right? But if they remove my Enigma Drakes, I don't win. I don't know if this deck is any good. I think these were the right colors to be in. I'm not sure. I feel like this is a very similar experience to what happened last time I made a red-blue deck. Although that one had, like, 2 Fiery Finish in it or something, and I feel like I like my interaction suite a little better in this deck. We've got, like, a number of, like, evasive things to kill them. The Omen Speaker should, like, fix my draws so I can, like, play my bigger stuff and draw my lands and whatever. Is the Marauder's Axe not good in this deck? I mean, I do have, like, double Bogart Brute, like, triple Enigma Drake. Even if I don't play a lot... Like, even if I have a Spell-Light hand, the Marauder's Axe makes Drake a threat. I guess? Well, I don't know. If they do have blockers for my evasive stuff, Sure Strike kind of, like, wrecks them, right? Because, like, if they double block Brute and then it gets +3 power and kills both of their things without dying, like, that's just really good for me. Disperse is just, like, generally good. I don't think I'd cut that. Maybe one of the Dwindles? Is that insane? Maybe the Cancel. I like the Electrify. I stand by that Electrify pick now, especially the way this deck is panned out. Like, there are things like Gearsmith Guardian that just, like, fill out the curve if you need to at common, and I think Electrify is better for our deck. To East San Francisco, fires have made streets smoky. Ooh. I didn't realize they were that close to you, Kataya, and I'm sorry to hear that. Last summer, the fires got... Well, there were fires in Burbank. They didn't spread to Burbank. Burbank just had its own set of fires when there were other ones going on. And it got pretty smoky around here for a while. So Burbank is kind of close to me. So I definitely keep the Omen Speakers. Maybe get rid of the Instigator? I mean, it gives me, like, fewer things to switcheroo. Maybe just don't play the switcheroo. Is that sane? Is that a sane thing to do? Like, I guess I don't have a lot of answers to... Okay, I'm immediately forced into a tangent here. I hate the way this interface looks specifically because it says sideboard over here, but my sideboard is up here. Like, this box should be something more useful if it's going to be here. Or it should be where the sideboard is. This just does... This isn't... Something is wrong here. So I need to cut 3, right? No, I need to cut 2 from here. So I could cut, like, Instigator, Switcheroo, and then I'd be, like, pretty heavy on the spells plan. I mean, I'm cutting a spell in the form of Switcheroo, but I still have Anticipate, Disperse, Shore Strike, Tormenting Voice, Divination, Cancel, Electrify, Totally Lost. Like, 8's pretty good. I counted the cancel, right? For some reason I can't remember if I counted the cancel. Your Shadowrun game ended Demolition? Did it turn out well? Let's see, I got I don't know what to do here. I mean, it's possible I should cut some high-end stuff because my deck's kind of tempo-y. Do something like cut a dwindle. I guess like it's either I'm using the dwindles as my answers to large creatures, and then I should cut the switcheroo, or I cut the dwindles and keep the switcheroo because it's a sorcery, and so I get like Enigma Drake value off of it. I think I like the cut the switcheroo plan. Let's take a look at our mana symbols, because I don't trust the auto-suggest, and 11-6 looks sketchy to me. Because I want to play... I definitely want to play, like, Bogart Brute and Enigma Drake on turn 3. Tormenting Voice on turn 2 is, like, sometimes a thing I want, but isn't super pressing. But generally speaking, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12... 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 blue symbols. 17 blue symbols. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 8 versus 17. Yeah, I mean, that's like twice as many, but still, in terms of like wanting to be able to play stuff, like, the only double blue cards I have are Filled Sea Serpent at 6 and Cancel, which doesn't need to be played on 3. So I think... Turn off land suggestion. I think, at the very least, it should be 10-7. I think there's a reasonable chance I want to play 2 blue spells in a turn a good amount of the time, though. So probably not like 9-8. 10-7 looks okay. Sort of second-guessing my cut the token maker plan, especially with so few creatures, but... We're just tempo, man. We're the tempo guy. Switch this back to the other one just to make sure we're at 40. Maybe I should cut the... No, I think I like this. Maybe I'll feel like I need the switcheroo and we'll change it between matches or something, but... I'm gonna play this, and we'll see what happens. Guys, how do you think the deck's gonna do? It looks really weird to me. I'm gonna say this deck does exactly either 4 wins or 6 wins, and I don't know which. opponent is Thanos. Can't let them snap. We have to grab their hand, but we don't have any discard to make them get rid of their hand. Oh, this is troubling. So what do we have here? Four lands, a 4-drop, and some questionable removal. I think our deck should not keep this hand, though that may seem questionable since we have, like, an assortment of lands. The problem being that our deck wants to be doing stuff earlier than that. So I think we mulligan. Our opponent is also mulligan. This hand does not really look better. I don't... This hand is not good, but I think we keep it. Like, at least being able to, like, cancel a potential turn 3 play, like, makes me feel like this deck, or this hand's being a little more active than the last one, but I think this is just bad. We've just, unfortunately, drawn poorly. I don't ever need double red, right? Unless I'm casting 2 spells in the same turn, I don't want another land. Well, deck has other ideas. Okay, we drew Enigma Drake, so, you know, that does something. Our opponent is stuck on 2 lands, so I think I play my Enigma Drake first and then hold up cancel, and then I start attacking them after they're able to play a spell. That's... okay, that happens. Okay, so now that I have Divination, the question becomes, do I attack? And I think I should. I'm gonna draw into stuff to do, and attack for 1. Both our decks, I think, are firing on all cylinders. Now we need Song of Groot to fight Thanos. Yeah, Groot stands a pretty good chance, I think, there. And it's awkward that they played Pegasus Courser on, like, the one turn I will not have cancel up for foreseeably the whole rest of the game. I think it was probably right to do that, though. Dwindle and Electrify. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't cast my Meteor Golem yet. With the cards in hand. So, like, if I wanted to do that, I should probably bottom some number of these to draw to land someday. But I think I'm just going to keep both of these as they're both pretty good spells, and what I have going on in my hand is pretty good. Attacking this turn's kind of pointless, because then they'll just get to attack me back and they'll block my damage first. Knight's Pledge, huh? It's not a great thing to counter. I suppose I just totally lost that next turn, huh? Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll play another one. Oh, they actually played another one! Oh, that's so good. Alright, we're gonna take like a bunch of damage this turn, but then their Pegasus Courser's gonna get lost on the way to the forum and they're gonna be real sad about it. Huh? This one. Tag you for 3. Our opponent has Explode. I mean, our hand was not great and we drew into a better hand. And their hand was not great, and they did not. And their Pegasus got super lost. Like, just no idea where he ended up. He took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. It was really good for us that he played that second enchantment. That was really unfortunate for them, though. And it's so warm in here that this has already, like, exceeded room temperature. This apple. This 100% juice apple. Why would you choose the name for yourself Top Deck Land? Isn't that just inviting, like, bad top decks all the time? Oh, this hand's way better than either of last game's hands. Omen Speaker's gonna make sure we draw, like, a 4th land and a spell or something. I've not seen Omen Speakers, like, going around very often in this format, and part of the reason for that might be that other people evaluate it the same way that I do, is like, it actually seems very good in this format. Not that it's like a bad card ever, but like it feels like just a 1/3 blocker that scries 2 is just so helpful. Ooh, Meteor Golem feels a little ambitious, though I hate putting it on the bottom. I definitely want land. Yeah, this looks right. And then turn is over. Did really take a wrong turn but started going backwards. It's just all the things. It turned the wrong direction back. It just, oh, it was embarrassing. Let's play Bogart Brute first. It's got like a reasonable chance of attacking past their stuff next turn. Yeah, I just noticed that like so far we've played 2 green-white decks and not a red-blue deck. You seem to very often like face the same color deck as you in round 1. Not like all the time, but like a weird amount of the time. It seems like not a coincidence. Alright. That is mildly annoying for our deck. No doubt about that. Let's go ahead and attack with Menace Guy, and then play an Enigma Drake. Next turn we won't have enough mana to play second Enigma Drake and hold up cancel, although that'd be really good. So maybe, depending on what we draw, overlay isn't on? It should be. I have the thing running, and I made sure to switch the thing on. What's this? I check that. Oh, look at that. That's weird. Should be working now. Don't know why it was set not to do that, because I set that the last time I streamed. Is there a way to see how many months you have? I think only when you have to, like, renew your subscription. Yeah, board state looks awkward for everybody. I think I hold until I get a 6th mana. So I can, like, make sure to have cancel up. Thank you for letting me know, Katane. I really thought it was working. Yes, you do know that you have at least 6 months because you have a Chopin. Let's see. Death Touch Guy? How much do I care about Death Touch Guy? Not enough to counter it, I don't think. I might be wrong. It's only a 2/2 though. Alright, that feels better. So we're gonna play another Enigma Drake. Let me just trade the Bogart Brute for the 2/2, frankly. Yeah, the tiers, the way affiliates are able to do it at least, are 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Alright, so this turn I could play Snapping Drake and hold up cancel. It's like the world's most obvious cancel at this point. That Giant Spider is really annoying, and again, our opponent has just like played the only annoying card they've played was on like the one turn we didn't have the counter spell up. Which is, you know, partially a choice, but like, I feel like, I don't know. I guess maybe holding up the cancel first makes more sense. Do I counter this guy? I don't have great blocks for this thing. I could like trade Bogart Brute for it or something, but I don't know. That might be wrong, but it feels like they got nothing going on, and if I can like play a couple spells and get these Enigma Drakes into like threat range, then we'll be in good shape. Of course, we're just drawing lands, and now our Meteor Golem's on the bottom of our deck, which isn't great. I think we're just past turn. Probably should have just let that resolve. Playing something. No, I don't care about that. My Omen Speaker. My, like, mostly naked woman with a piece of fabric loosely draped upon her can kill this thing. With her bare hands. So we'll hold this Disperse for now, but, like, this, it's a good draw. It doesn't do anything right away, but, like, it should help us push through at some point. Both of our draws are bad. Oh, that's not a bad draw. That's not a bad draw at all. So let's go ahead and go up to 8 mana so we can hold this Disperse while playing an enormous Horizon Scholar. And then scry some garbage to the bottom and draw relevant cards instead. I do like Horizon Scholar. Oh yeah, please, please get rid of these islands. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Great, so now we can start pushing in on the next turn. So now they gotta do something. And yes, to correspond with that point earlier, 1 month tier is you just get a Narwhal. It's adorable. We love it. 3 months is Narwhal with a pirate hat. 6 months is Narwhal with a Chopin hat. And just play this Dwindle. Currently 1 year is our maximum, and that is the BFF from Resonance of Fate. So we do this and we just start attacking with all the flyers forever. Because like now they can't like block, they can't like trade with our like 3-2 or whatever. Why isn't there attack with all creatures it makes sense to attack with button? And it's not even like they can like chump block our 1/4s forever, because Dwindle has the weird side effect of if the creature blocks, it dies. What if they have a pump spell? Ooh, they do have a pump spell. Well, it turns out my Enigma Drakes will do more damage this turn. Yeah, that Disperse was a good draw. Rejuvenator. I wish Rejuvenator is probably not a great draw in this situation. It maybe gets them a land that probably doesn't do a lot for them, and then it like maybe puts some useful cards on the bottom. It's like non-optional scry, which feels real bad. I'm just gonna take it. Like I could trade, but I'm just gonna take it for now, because they're like not close to threatening lethal. Okay, that's fun. We draw a card we don't want, we can turn it into cards we do want, maybe. Based on art alone, what's the best card? Oh, that's an interesting question. One of the ones I like best is Angelic Destiny, which isn't close to being in Magic Arena. It shows, like, this, like, warrior woman in kind of, like, sleek knight attire, like in front of like a stained glass window that has giant angel wings on it. In terms of things that are on Arena, I do like Lyra Dawnbringer a lot. Another angel-related card. I just don't care. I should just take that damage. Actually, I should take all the damage. So let's just like buy a turn. That's fine. I'll take 4. They're just dead, right? I believe they are just dead. Pow? Power wheels? I mean, they could have a trick of some kind. I don't think there's, like, untapped tricks in this format. Or reach tricks. So they definitely don't have, like, Arbor Armament, which got us, like, a couple of times in the same draft that I think we were even playing red-blue during Dominarian. Clam the prize. We already got 2 wins. It's feeling pretty good. I don't know, I'm not actually sure what my like favorite all-time Magic art is. There's a lot of good stuff. Those are just like ones that like stand out to me. I like Reparations. Reparations is pretty funny. Thank you for the confetti, guys. I feel like I worked hard for it by getting really lucky draws. Do I want this no blue 7-drop hand? I don't think I do. That sounds dreadful. This hand looks a lot better than that last one. It's not, like, incredible, but, like, a lot better than the last one. Ooh, that feels ambitious, but I'm sad to do this. Similar to last round, where we put a golem on the bottom. Like, I like having those couple of, like, expensive options in the deck, but I have to, like... I think I just have to be willing to bottom them in, like, scry situations when appropriate. Speaking of scry situations, I gotta find a mountain or something. Cancel Island. Oh, Jiminy. So... I mean, I definitely take the island. Do I take the cancel? I mean, I guess if, like, mountain isn't the card below cancel, having the cancel as an option helps, but then leaving the cancel on top means I definitely don't draw red or a 4th mana on the following turn. I think I'm supposed to bottom the cancel, but I don't like it. Break over, have to go back to work. Well, thank you for joining us, Anime. I hope the rest of your day goes quickly. I think I'm picking up a PS4 for streaming. The Last of Us, $400. Wait, isn't the, like, base price for a PS4, like, definitely less than that by now? Why would it be $400? Is it, like, you want to get, like, a special edition one? For, like, collector's reasons or something? Well, I mean, at least their board doesn't look great against us. Amazing. Yeah, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't go in the cancel plan, since if I held the cancel and then drew totally lost, I'd feel real dumb about it. Oh, the PS4 Pro. Did I miss that? I think you mentioned that specifically. But yeah, the Pro one is definitely still expensive. I also have that special edition Spider-Man PS4 coming up. Oh god. Not the fabled Star Crown Stag. Oh god. I'm so hosed. I mean, I guess we can trade whichever one they don't tap for their 3/3, and then they're, like, stuck again. I hope their hand isn't good, because our hand isn't good. Totally Lost isn't even going to be good against this matchup, like, at all. Ah, someone invited the uninvited Haggis. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy your Chopin Hat Narwhal, as it is now active and online. They have like a pump spell, which they almost certainly do. We're not in good shape. Yeah, no, they had a pump spell. They almost certainly did. I don't think there's any way we can play around that. This draw has not... I mean, honestly, like, having 2 lands on a mold to 6 and Omen Speaker, I would expect to be in a better position than this now. Okay, so I guess we're just gonna, like... We're gonna totally lost their Star Crown Stag at the beginning of combat? Although I don't think that actually makes a difference. Just so long as we do it, like, before... We'll go to... Yeah, we go to combat, and then we both have to pass on attack. And I'm just gonna make your attacks bad this turn. Trying to be able to be a normal human being for a week before it inevitably runs out. Oh, your data plan. Yeah, I know that feel. Yeah, this not Mountain 5 Islands thing is not looking great right now, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, I think this game was just an unfortunate case of the shuffles. Oh yeah, that activated ability that I mentioned earlier. Are we dead yet? No, we have like a turn to pretend we're not dead, but we're dead. We did it! We drew all the Enigma Drakes! Yahtzee! Alright, we've lost the game. Congratulations to us. We are super dead. Game. My face exploded. Hopefully we don't get, like, just... I mean, we just always lose to Starcrown Stag. Starcrown Stag is a real beast in this format, because, like, the whole thing about this format is, like, board stalls. So if you're just like, great, the one thing keeping my team in check is not keeping my team in check, like, suddenly you're in bad shape. Our opponent is Cacao Noober. Neither of those words are spelled correctly. Do I like this one island cards hand? No thank you. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend like our curve is perfect, but we do have like a ton of like 2-drops that like fix our draws. The fact that like we're either not consistently drawing them at all in our opening hand, or like last game, they're just like hosing us for no particular reason is kind of discouraging. Because I really feel like that Omen Speaker could easily have gone the distance, if not for just like a garbage pile of stinkaroos on top of the deck. I think I'm supposed to keep this, but I don't like it. I guess, like, mono dwindle control is a plan? I guess part of the problem, I think we've played first every game, which in some ways is good, but it also means, like, when we have mildly sketchy hands, we are less likely to draw out of them. Because it's like one fewer draw before our opponent's Star Crown stags us to death. Mono green? I tried that once. I don't recommend it. Sure. I'm not gonna enchant your thing, so I'm gonna hold this cancel. Steel Leaf Champion. Oh wait, wrong format. Oaken Former. I think I should allow this. I mean, okay, so let's think about this. No, I should counter this. Just because it makes the most use of my mana. Like, I just, like, waste my turn 3 if I don't do this. So, like... Well, on the one hand, I'm kind of okay just taking 5 damage one time and then making their thing a -1/5 or whatever. On the other hand, like, then I just don't do anything. I mean, I'm already, like, not doing anything this turn. See Venom? I don't know if I've seen the most recent one. I've seen a couple, I think. I think I've seen 2 different ones. I don't know. I don't know. Venom is not MCU. It's Sony. But, like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Venom, generally speaking. Really? That's interesting. That's an interesting use of an instant card. I mean, I don't have anything to do about it, because my hand is funfortunate. But, okay. I'm just gonna play this Gearsmith Guardian. That is only a 3/5 for reasons. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been the biggest fan of Venom or Carnage, for that matter. Not that Carnage is in this one, but they're sort of lumped together often. That seems like a Venom thing to do. Oh, did Sony make the Emoji Movie? I assumed that, like, Mass Hysteria made the Emoji Movie. That just seemed like a bad call. Our opponent is weirdly aggressive. I will definitely block, even if they're representing a combat trick. Okay, they've played a 2/1. I'm not sure these dwindles will be good against our opponent. We're definitely on a Tormenting Voice now. We're gonna do it with this land, even though we could probably use Assist. Just because these dwindles maybe do something? Okay. Are we willing to take another 2, assuming they have nothing? I think the answer is no. I think I should not do that. So it feels really stupid to do this, but I'm definitely going to dwindle a 2/2. Like, next turn I'll be able to hold up Totally Lost in case they have a combat trick or something, but I'm at 9, because they're doing weird stuff like just firing off Sovereign's Bite and Sorcery Speed Titanic Growth. They've made it clear that their game plan is to kill me quickly, so if I just, like, survive by making even really seemingly awkward plays, like, I think I'll be in good shape. Doubt their deck will be super positioned to, like, get me in the late game, especially without, like, red for, like, Lava Axe or whatever. Okay. They also have pretty much just Vampire Immunity. I guess they could have, Duress, which would be annoying. I would like for them not to... Wow, they actually had Duress. That's actually incredibly annoying. Like, it's a really specific card to main deck and to have in this situation. I mean, I kind of prefer having the Totally Lost, frankly. So, that's okay. I would definitely prefer for them not to trade a card for their hand for a card in my hand right now, the way this board looks. But of the two, I think I actually prefer having Totally Lost. I don't know what they got, but I'm going to play Snapping Tree. It does make my other guy a 5/5. Not that I plan on attacking while at 9 on this board. Probably just trade the Drake for the 3/3. Like, I just need the 5 toughness. If they have, like, a combo trick to save their guy, there's no, like, instant speed trample give effect. Oh, that's really... So our opponent is, like, playing mono sideboard cards. Like, Sovereign's Bite isn't even a card I would generally sideboard, except in, like, a really extreme circumstance. But, like, Duress and Plummet are, like, definitely hard sideboard cards. I mean, I'm hoping... Wow! They're running... Their graveyard is just sideboard cards! What's happening? I'm losing my mind. And they didn't attack after all that? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't understand. I would really like to draw spells. Like, any spell in my deck beats mono sideboard control. Whatever this is. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I the only one seeing this? Oh god, can I just draw spells? Can I just draw spells? Do I, like, totally lose one of their things? I don't think I do unless they attack. Are they just, like, never going to attack? I mean, I guess they've already tapped out their mana, so I, like, know they don't have anything. Oh my god, just spells! Not even, like, good spells, like the worst spells in my deck. Just the worst spells in my deck, please. Just not any more lands. I literally have 8 and the most expensive thing in my deck possible is 7. Hey, why don't you give me the 7 mana thing? Make use of all these dumb lands. I can't get over this. Duress, Plummet, Naturalize in sequence are my opponent's plays. Okay, again, a sideboard card, but also, that's not how you use that card. You use that when I'm attacking you because it prevents the damage to you. If you cast that and then attack me, then you don't do any damage. You know this, right? Oh my god. Come on. Just spells! I'm not even asking for the moon here. Like, spells. Just spells. Just spells, please. My opponent's sitting there on 4 lands, too. He's just, like, only drawing, like, mediocre spells that are enough to threaten me. That's annoying. Ugh. I just, like, totally lost that? I don't think I can afford to totally lose anything until I have at least another creature on the board. Spell? Okay, that is a spell. Okay, so now my guy is bigger, and I still have totally lost mana up. So, like, we're, like, on the verge of being stabilized. Okay, they have a 5th land. Is that a problem? Do they have like a 5-mana thing I can't deal with? I mean, they know I have Totally Lost, so they can't, like... What's that thing called? Assert dominance or whatever? Dominant display? Something like that? Become dominant? Their deck is double plummet, naturalized, root snare, duress? This is their main deck? Do I just totally lost my own? No, I don't totally lost my own thing. That's insane. Oh my god! How is this real life? This is maddening. This is not magic. This is something else. This is Sparta. I cannot believe this graveyard. Our opponent's graveyard is so stupid. Uh-huh. Okay, they're not attacking. Great. I mean, it's a spell. I shouldn't complain. I'm not thrilled with it. It doesn't do anything, but it is a spell. I mean, I guess technically it stops them from attacking with the Basilisk, because I can just Sure Strike them. Oh, good. Good. Come on with this. This is goofy. This is stupid goofy. So is my opponent just like waiting until they can go around me? Because like, it shouldn't take very long. Alright, so I need 7 mana up, right? So that I can play both of my instants. So I would need 10 total lands in order to play Divination and not feel insane. Great. This is my life now. This is my life now. Okay. Does that mean you won't attack, or with 2 Basilisks is that enough to attack with? Okay, they're still not attacking. Okay, I can afford to play Omen Speaker, right? Because I have 9, and I need 7. Okay, so let's play Omen Speaker. Get rid of all the lands. All the lands on the bottom, please. Everything you own in a box on the bottom of my library. Okay. So now I have, like, 2 blockers. It's relevant. This is all I need. I just need dumb creatures. Opponent's sitting there. Double plummet, naturalized. Root snare, they just discarded the root snare, by the way. It's not even that they, like, played the root snare and got me. They just, like, sorcery speed, root snare on their own turn. So this is enough, right? Because that's 10, so I can... Fine, I think. Okay. So, like, next turn we can start, like, doing stuff, because we scryed things, and we have mana to do stuff, and activate abilities, and all the things. My turn. Okay. Disperse is good. That's a good draw. Bogart Brute doesn't do anything because they have just like a million generic creatures, so I will just play Omen Speaker. Continue to try and fix my draws and draw into something that actually threatens them. Per my previous comment, I think I should actually put Bogart Brute on the bottom because I want to draw into more flyers. I don't think they have a 3rd copy of Plummet main deck, but honestly I didn't think they had a first one. And we're here now. I don't want to lose this game. It seems plausible for me not to lose this game, but I would be upset to lose this game. I mean, that's not great for me, but I can deal with that, I think. That's not great. Play Mountain, play Bogart Brute. I wonder what they're gonna do, honestly. Okay. Will they attack now? I feel like they'll attack with this one. Maybe not anything else, but like, I feel like they should have been attacking with the... Really? Okay. That's acceptable. Hey, look at that card. Look at that one card. Okay, so here's the thing. Normally I think I might sit on this, because like 6/6 doesn't actually seem to be killing us anytime soon. But I do have this disperse to like buy it back if they play something more threatening. So like I think I'm just gonna spew it all. I need one more. Yeah, the island is fine. Blow up the 6/6. Okay. God, I'm gonna mill because they've killed like all of my flyers, and like my flyers are my win condition. Okay, walking corpse probably doesn't matter, so that's fine for me. Okay, electrify is really good. If I ever draw a flyer, then I could attack since that could kill the spider. So I'm gonna do that. Actually, should I just do that now? No attackers, but I think I'm just gonna electrify the thing now. Phew. Okay, so now if I just draw Horizon Scholar, what do I have? No, did the Horizon? No, the Snapping Drake died. So I still have Horizon Scholar and 2 Enigma Drakes. My 12 card deck. Oh god. At least like most of my instants and sorceries will be in my graveyard, so like 1 Enigma Drake attacks for like 5 a turn or something. How many does it actually attack for? Electrified Divination, Tormenting Voice cancelled. 4. 4 currently, and I can just fire off these spells if I need to get aggressive. Because my hand is all spells. Oops, all Gideons. Okay. We also know that the bottom, like, 4 cards of our deck... Oh, no! Right, wait, was Horizon Scholar the bottom card of our deck at the start of this game? It's 4, 5, 6. Horizon Scholar, hooray! Anticipate I don't need... Yeah, I don't think I want to do anything that, like, removes more cards from my deck. But, like, making my guy more threatening with the axe seems reasonable, even though it's not insane. If he has Plummet, I swear to God, I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright. Reach creature. It doesn't, like, threaten to kill my thing at all, but it's annoying. And let's not forget that if I just need to not mill out for 1 turn, I could totally lost my own thing. So that's a thing that might happen. Hey, look, it's Marauder's Axe. The winged boy, please. Okay, let's attack 4/6. I'm gonna assume they're gonna snap block. They're playing like someone who just like is not gonna be willing to take damage. This is a thing that like certain people who are new to the game, like they really just can't stand taking damage, so they'll always like chump block immediately. And like sometimes that's actually reasonable, but there's a lot of times where it's just like, if you had waited a turn, you could play another creature and double block it, trade. So they are down to 12 cards, and I'm at 10 cards. I don't know how many more, like, super threatening cards are in their deck. Okay. This is an interesting approach from them all of a sudden. Alright, so let's go to block. None of my things that I would do need to happen before. So I'm willing to trade this. This can happen. 5/5 can block the 3/3. 3/3 blocks. So 1 within ability, and then I block this one is unblocked. And then I'm gonna use the Sure Strike. Yeah, I'm gonna use the Sure Strike to just kill the other Basilisk. So this one gets First Strike. So you like trade with my Bogart Brute, and then like everything you own dies. Except that 1/2/2. Okay. Oh yeah, Frilled Sea Serpent. That's a card that's in my deck. Yeah, sure. Let's attack with the 5/5 and just let's hit them for many. I'm gonna save these chump blockers in case some weird haste thing happens, but I also have these like bounce spells, so I think they're dead. I wonder if our opponent just got bored with this game. I'm not sure why they decided that last turn was the turn to attack. Six, 10, 15. I mean, if I just, like, they already know that the totally lost is here, so it's not like I'm, like, DMing them or something. It's just like, now I can just attack them and they'll be dead. Not that I think the chump block would have mattered, I just, like, meh. Oh. I don't know what to say about the sideboard game, but we didn't lose. We really could have lost that game, and it would have been very upsetting. Okay. Dinner time. Well, thank you for sticking with us through that game, Demolition. I think the conclusion needed to be seen, and I appreciate all the cannons. Hopefully, we'll see you a little later on. I like genuinely need a minute to collect myself after that. That was hard. That was hard for me. Okay. I don't know if our opponent could definitely have won that game, but I think it would have been correct for them to at least attack with the Death Touch creature. Because, like, without them, like, knowing what's in my hand, which they didn't until, like, after, I think, a couple of turns of not attacking with the Death Touch. The first Death Touch guy, at least. It's like, he has no reason to think I can, like, deal with them, so you could just attack past him. I was already at 9 at that point. I keep drawing, like, one-landers in this deck, and, like, I don't know why, so I'm gonna mulligan this. This is better, but, like... Definitely keep land on top. With the third land, this hand looks okay, but I don't know why we keep drawing, like, real garbage opening hands. I don't think this deck's curve is actually that bad. It's not amazing, but like I said before, we've got, like, a bunch of 2-mana, like, fix our draws early plays, and we just never draw those. Instead, we draw, like, one land and some stink garbage. Bogart Brute first, unless they give me some reason to think that's not best. Okay. Because then if they just, like, play one creature, we can still attack past it, get some damage. Woo. Next turn, the Snapping Drake. Oh, it's Goreclaw, the Terror of Calcisma. That's hurtful. I think I'm supposed to just kill that. Because here's the thing about Goreclaw, Terror of Calcisma. First off, whenever, like, creatures with 4 power or more attack, they get +1/+1 and trample. So he basically attacks as a 5/4 trample, which is bad enough. But also, as long as it's on the field, anything with power 4 or greater that they would cast costs 2 less mana. So, even though I could simply attack past this, I don't want to let them have it on the board. That thing's super threatening. Whee! Oh. Take a drink every time Vasco plays a hand of Magic. Hey, Mike, you're terrible at deciding the drinking games. Please stop for everyone's livers. Welcome to the stream, however, and I hope you enjoy your festive BFF, as you are a BFF to the channel. Opponent played nothing? That's suspicious. That's very suspicious. I don't know what to make of that, but I think they got something. They don't have Hired Blade, and that wouldn't be good here anyway. Pretty sure we played the Snapping Drake, but like... Okay. Let's play the Snapping Drake. And then if we draw like another island, we can like Enigma Drake with Disperse back up. I love that everyone just gets a narwhal friend. It's the best. Reclamation Sage, okay. I guess I'm glad it didn't hit. Oh, sure. Like a kind of awkward rabbit bite. It's not terrible, but it's not like amazing for them. I'm just gonna attack past their guy. Whee! Menace is great. Alright, let's play a bird drake. Pass the turn. Drink every time we break a bezel. Now define break. Is using a bezel breaking a bezel for your drinking game, Haggis? Because then Resonance of Fate gets out of hand. See, there's a good one. Complacent Shy Guy gets it. Take a drink every time I get a good hand. So far, you would only have had to take like one drink this entire draft. Our opening hands have been questionable. Declare dominance. Okay. I mean, I am forced to block that, which is unfortunate. Does it get trampled? No, just because it's big. Kind of just like 1 for 1? I mean, I'd like to draw another island. But I mean, our deck's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not sure if this nice in-kind thing makes it. Also, yes, I sort of glossed over that. Welcome, Shy Guy. We don't see you around here super often, but it's always a pleasure. I guess I just attack with everything, because my life total is 20, despite them doing shenanigans. I think they just had an unfortunate draw that was kind of hoping that their sick Terror Claw would survive. I just cancel that? I think I cancel that. That seems like a good cancel target. Woo! Now my guy does more damage. I'm doing things at instant speed with Drake. Opponent's being a good sport. Wish I could, like, express better that, like, I understand that this is happening. Also, our opponent is genderqueer, which is a sick name. I like that. Yeah, this doesn't have reach, right? We'll give them the GG, but I will not do that. So attack, and then I will totally lost their really expensive guy. That makes 3 damage. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Our opponent just had like a pretty bad hand, I think. Yeah, I also don't drink. I don't really know how to balance drinking games, but I know K-Mac is not doing it right, is how I would put that. Also been playing this, have about 33,000 gold. Ooh, you saving up for something in particular, Shy Guy? Well, Haggis, thank you so much for supporting the channel by gifting a tier 1 sub to Complacent Shy Guy. Welcome aboard the Electric Narwhal. Enjoy your confetti cannon emote, and also your brand new narwhal friend. Hopefully it shows up right away. This will be a test of the emergency broadcast system. But if you have 33,000 gold, are you planning on using them to, like, enter events or something? I used to, like, before drafts were, like, commonly accessible on not weekends, I would just, like, spew all my gold on packs right away to build up my, like, collection. But, like, now that I can, like, quick draft for gold and make gems off it, I spend all my gold on draft. A tiny narwhal spawned a TikTok. Hold on. Face? Hey, hold on. We have to make the jar really big, so I have to unlock it. Oh wow, look at that! It changed all the bits to the sub. Wow, I didn't know that worked that way. That's awesome. The jar is just filled with tiny narwhals. It's amazing. Alright, what does my hand look like? I mean, on the one hand, I have created like an 11 creature deck or something. On the other hand, what's happening here? I think I actually keep this, but it seems insane. Uh-oh, Goblin Motivator? Goblin Motivator is like the worst turn 1 play to see with this hand I've kept. Oh dear. Okay, red-black's a little less threatening, but still bad for me. I think red-white's a little more punishing just in terms of, like, raw, aggressive power. Got more than one land. Yeah? Yeah. It's kind of hoping this would be like some kind of... Oh dear. Okay, well I know what to do. I'll tap and give it haste, and once this one's tapped so it can't attack me, I'll bounce the other guy. Well, this looks horrific for me. I'm really gonna need to draw something good here. Well, I mean, cancel does something. Does it do something good? I don't know. I would love to draw Omen Speaker. It seems really good against this hand. Oh good, they're just playing that. Well, I'm pretty sure I have to cancel it, which is dumb, and I hate it. I think I have to. I don't think I can afford to just, like, not do anything on this turn. This is rough. This is a game we're almost certainly losing. Hey, we drew that Omen Speaker. That's not terrible. I don't know that it, like, saves us or anything, but maybe we can draw into... so if we take the Gearsmith Guardian, then we can play it next turn? So, yeah, that has to be a keep. We would have 4, 5, 6. We still wouldn't have... Well, we could play our other guy as a big blocker on the following turn? It's sketchy, but I think this is correct. Let's hope. Oh god, it's that card! Wait. Oh, gross. Oh, gross. So, here's Sarkhan's Unsealing. I hate this card. Whenever you cast a creature with power 4, 5, or 6, it deals 4 damage to a target. If you cast a creature with power 7 or greater, it deals 4 damage to each opponent, each creature, and each planeswalker they control. So, I mean, I guess when they play their 4-drop, they still can't kill my 3-5, but they kill the Omen Speaker, which is still fairly annoying. Next turn I'm drawing Island, and I play Frilled Sea Serpent, which also doesn't die to the enchantment by itself. So, like, our draw doesn't look atrocious. And we, like... I don't know, maybe we can stabilize here? We have enough high toughness things it's, like, plausible. But I still don't... They got off to a start, man. I'm super not blocking a 1-1 with the 5-5. I see right through that play. If you want to play your 4-power creature this turn, you're gonna have to shoot me in the face or kill the Omen Speaker. You're not getting a free Guardian kill off that. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright. Not sure if that's actually correct. I think putting me to 9 might be better. Not sure of it, but maybe. Playing the Frilled Sea Serpent, I'm actually hoping to top deck a land next turn. Then I could, like, kill their stupid enchantment, and then I don't think they have a chance. I don't know what's in their deck, but I assume that a deck that's, like, trying to attack me with, like, 4 1-1s on turn 2 probably isn't looking to get in the super late game. Welcome, Cat, and also welcome, Lissad. Unfortunately, I'm not sure a lot of... Oh, that's bad. We gain 3 life, we don't lose life. I don't think a lot of people in chat know enough about the game to be able to help you with the draft deck, unfortunately. I would like to, but I'm on a timer here with this whole being live drafting thing. Get rid of this enchantment, because it seems like the way I lose the game. Okay. So, like, we're like, getting really close to being in a stable position, I think. We're not there yet, but, like, 1-1s and 4-2 doesn't do much. It just, like, dies to the Guardian, since they don't have, like, an onboard source of potential damage or whatever. We're playing right now. We're currently... Jeez. we're in a Core 19 quick draft. Yeah, that's happening. I need an answer to that. Let's divination and hope to draw, like, Dwindle or something? Oh, that works. That works. Oh yeah. I played enough spells that actually just, like, kills the dragon if it tries to attack. Okay, like, creeping towards stabilizing. I feel like we probably got better late game than them. I'm glad we got rid of the enchantment. It looked like they were trying to sandbag an activation. Oh, Sure Strike's a pretty good draw, too. Definitely don't do anything now. Gonna hold this land because we do have a tormenting voice, and that'd be a good thing to discard it too. Might actually also want to hold the second land if we draw it, just because they might be playing Mind Rot, and I'd sure like to hold on to the Sure Strike. Oh, it's Lathless, the Dragon Queen. That's not good for us at all. Jeez, my opponent's got a pretty good deck. Yeah. Oh, this is actually great. This is good. Yay. Yay, they're going to try and attack us. Oh, and with only that one. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. Please to Sure Strike this one. Oh yeah, now it's a 7-4 with First Strike. Take them back. I'm gonna hold on to these lands. I don't think I need them, but like, whew! Feel a lot better about my life after the Lathless is dead. What's our win rate? We are currently 4-1. We should probably be 3-2, but one of our opponents like did not quite get there. Okay, so I think can we start attacking now? I think I'd like to have one more ground creature. But like I think dwindling the dragon is enough to like encourage me to attack in the air. I just don't want to let them get too far. Jeez, these Onake ogres. I don't even like this card, but our opponent is going ham sandwich. I think I'm just gonna play the Dwindle now on the dragon. Like, I might end up taking some damage this turn because I'm just not drawing creatures or answers. But there are boats in this yet? What, in Arena? I mean, there aren't verbal ones. You just get to nice. Get to face scroll wheel. Okay, I have to assume our opponent's deck is aggressive enough that they should be attacking us here. Drake also buffed the Gearsmith Guardian. Yeah, and then playing the Sure Strike also permanently buffed the Enigma Drake by putting an instant in the graveyard. Just being mana flooded doesn't help. Yeah, we've been flooding a lot, to be fair. We would like to draw spells. Drawing spells would be good. Oh, that's annoying. That's one less creature on the ground, though. If I draw something this turn that isn't a land, then we're probably still fine? Oh, that's not good. That's not good, though. That's not good, though. Oh, boy. I really love... Like, I've drawn so many lands here. I've already drawn, like, 11 lands. It's only, like, 1/3 of my deck is land. Okay. Alright. This is happening. So, I think we... Like, this sucks, but I think if we do this, and we survive, like, another turn or something, it's fine. God. Ugh, come on with these lands! Come on with the lands, though. Come on with the lands, though. It's ridiculous. We've drawn 12 lands. Going slightly over. Oh my god. Are you kidding me with this? Oh, I'm just dead, aren't I? Oh, that's so brutal. We just got so flooded this game. So just attack with that, and we can stop 4 and take 5. Oh, that really sucks. That really sucks. It sucks so much. Like, it would not have taken almost anything. Just like, if 2 of those 12 lands were just, like, the worst spells in our deck, we probably win that game. Like, ugh. That's just frustrating, man. That's a tough one. It seems like this deck really only loses to, like, mana. Our opponent is just the one and only Pamela. Can you believe that, guys? We get to play Pamela. This is a little sketchy, but it's got early stuff and removal, so I think I should keep this. How's the draft going overall? Pretty well. We've had a couple of bad draws, but, like, I think the previous round where we were having a really rough draw, our opponent just, like, didn't capitalize on it. I think they probably could have won that game with little difficulty if they had just been a little bit more aggressive. Do I want land and tormenting voice, or do I just want neither of those? I mean, I suppose I could play the tormenting voice, know that I'm going to draw into an island. I guess I'll keep this, but I don't love it. Nice bright smile even when I lose. Well, I'm glad you think so. Because it always feels like when I'm losing, I'm just, like, miserable to watch. And like, that's one of my, like, bigger concerns. Alright, well, I can't block that. I could dwindle it to death, but that seems whatever. I could just block my thing. I'm just gonna draw as planned. So the reason I decided to do this is because, like, because I know the other card on top of my deck is an island, I know I'll still have a land, and this also puts a sorcery in my graveyard for all of my Enigma Drakes, because I'm on the triple Enigma Drake plan. Well, thanks very much, Listen. I appreciate you saying that. I do try to have a chill attitude. Sometimes I get frustrated. You should have seen the sideboard game before. Our opponent had 2 main deck plummets, a duress, a naturalize, and what's the fog effect? It had like all of those like main decks. Wow, our opponent is going off, man. I kind of think I just like Sure Strike disperse their stuff to death. That seem insane? Like, I feel like this is their plan. They've invested a lot in this. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. So these weird ghost pirates, if you realize that they're not real, they die. So if you target them with a spell, they die. It doesn't matter what the spell is. If they get targeted by it, they just die. So like those things can be really annoying because they're extremely difficult to block. And if their plan is just go all in on ghosts, then I think killing them makes sense. I mean, now I kind of need lands to play this Frilled Sea Serpent someday, but I reasonably like our position. And we're a little low on cards compared to... That's fine. I don't care about that. Yeah, I'm not going to dwindle their 0-5. That seems not great. I'm going to call that not great. You have this sweet Electrify, though. What tricks does Pamela have in store? She seems to be even more lane screwed than we are. Just something about that bookcase. It doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, our opponent is definitely on some kind of unblockable plan. Kind of interesting. Oh, hey, look. Decent. I think I would prefer just a basic land in this situation, but at least I'm able to put a thing on the board instead of just hold up Electrify and Shrug when my opponent passes back. So yeah, listen, if you have any questions about the channel or what it is we do, feel free to let me know. I know my channel page is in need of some sprucing up, and it's on my to-do list, but it's been a hot and busy month, so I've not gotten as much done as I'd like. But we did commission these sweet sub-badges, and I'm really excited about them. Did we just scry 2 to the top? I feel like I should worry about that. Yeah, do nothing because nothing does anything. Anytime. I'm always happy to have new crew members aboard the Electric Narwhal, which is what we call the stream community. What was that? Thank you very much for the follow, Izzet. I do appreciate it. Okay, they're not doing anything. I'm okay with it. Hey, look at that. A land. You know what land lets us do? This guy. I might have Essence Scatter, which should be a bummer, but one of my creatures is gonna get countered someday. Alright, so if I just draw a land and we continue like this, then I get to make my serpent unblockable forever. Woo! I mean, I like to think I'm not a lazy pirate, but it's just a bald-faced lie. I'm a pretty lazy pirate. Dwindle's reasonable. Is that their hand? Are they on, like, mana removal and ghosts? Oh, I'm gonna get them with the sassy activated ability. You watch this. So I'm assuming that, you know, we'll like play a land and something, and I probably won't interact with it right away unless it's really threatening. Gallant Cavalry. You don't think I have any response to that. It resolves, they get a knight, it's annoying. Go to combat, go to attacks. Block. Boom! My creature can't be blocked this turn. Taste it. Yeah! That lets me hold up Totally Lost, which I want to do in case I need to, like, surprise block with the serpent. My opponent gets it. I don't want either of these islands, thank you for noticing. Great. Let's go ahead and pass. Pass along back. The card you might enjoy in flavor of the Carnifact deck. Yeah, I put together a really bad, rough draft of the Carnifact deck, and I think it won a single game against a land-screwed opponent. It's not very good. I mean, it's not a very tuned list or anything. It's what I put together with, like, minimal crafts. Omen Speaker, yeah. Didn't they spy 2 to the top before? I guess maybe they just found lands because they were really stuck on them before. You may not think I'm a lazy pirate, but you're also my biological mother, and as such, inclined to give me more credit than I probably deserve. I mean, our hand looks good, it just doesn't do anything since we don't have any of our flyers, which I think is this deck's general weakness. General weakness. I was kind of hoping these Bogart Brutes were going to do more work, but the boards have been stalling, like, wider than I expected. Which, I should probably know better by this point in the format. Although, one of them I think I would still have taken. I remember one of them being kind of a difficult pick, although I can't remember specifically what it was. Okay, that is annoying. I think I'm just going to let that happen. I'm at 18, I'm just going to take the 2. I think the thing is that I just might electrify the bookcase now, because, like, if they're actually going to... If we've reached the stage in the game where it's actually going to be the thing they're planning on doing, then, like, it's going to be a problem for me just not to ever be able to block it. Okay, Anticipate's pretty good. Do I want to do that now? I don't actually think I do. Revolutionary rebuff. 1 blue, 1 colorless instant. Target non-artifact spell. Yeah, maybe. Though some of those control decks are still running... Well, actually, the aggro decks are running artifacts too. The stupid black... what is that thing called? It's like the 3-2... That's not what I want to see. I should have anticipated there, but I don't think I wanted to spend the cancel one. I think I just want to dwindle that. Let's anticipate... I wouldn't have found it. I think we take the other dwindle? We could take the divination. I think I'd rather have the dwindle. Great, another land. I was hoping I would draw another land. Just kidding, I wasn't at all hoping that. I'm honestly not sure which one of us has the better late game, but for now I'm pretending it's me. Who'd that be? Whoa, K-Mac, jeez. You just donated an extremely generous $130. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to give you an exceptionally large barrage of confetti, put some angry raiding pirates in the middle, and then more confetti. And then just, you know what, another round of both of those. Just, it's a big one. It's a big whole mess. Thank you very much for that, K-Mac. Your support of the channel is greatly appreciated. Angel of Dawn. Oh dear. That doesn't look good for the home team. That's probably it for them, right? It's probably those two guys. I think I just go to 10. Well, no, I should trade the Bogart Brute, right? Why would I not trade the Bogart Brute? It's like not doing anything for me. It's like threatening the same amount of... Alright, I'm gonna kill the token and just like block these guys since my 3 toughness outlasts their 2 power. So I'm just gonna take 3. Be kind of unhappy about it. I should have played my land. I didn't realize I was gonna be like one off playing Totally Lost. Not that it like would have been super good. So let's dwindle the angel. Oh boy. This is something... Actually, do I just like play the Guardian now? Yeah, I should play the Guardian this turn. Let's just do it. Any good artifact deck? I've seen some people do like a blue-black standard artifact deck that I don't remember much of the list that seemed like it was like reasonably successful. I don't know if there are any like truly just artifact. I mean, I actually saw someone playing like a weird artifact combo deck. That's very reasonable. Yeah, I think our opponent is like also on the removal plan. Yeah, our decks are both like not exactly firing on all cylinders. I really don't know. Okay, that's a good draw. That's a good draw. Right. This one? This. Scry bad things away. Don't need the island. Enigma Drake should be good. Okay. I have block. People can try. But yeah, like the thing is, like, if I'm making an artifact deck, I want it to have both Karn and Tezzeret in it. I don't know that anyone's good artifact deck has both. Okay, well, this does like not affect my game plan very much. And also, that's like an inconvenience, but like, I figure most of the time I either can beat them at 28 or I just lose. So, it's not like a huge problem. Go play an Enigma Drake. That should potentially put me in the driver's seat here. Maybe I should have just attacked with the Scholar there. Being a little passive since I'm at 13. Your deck could have both Karn and Tezzeret. There aren't that many thought. Wow, look at that. Yeah, I don't feel that bad about like not being super aggressive. My opponent's just gonna gain like 1,000 over 2 turns. I did, in fact, quote Doki Doki Literature Club, and I'm shocked that someone in my chat recognized that fact. Well played, K-Match. Well, good, a mountain. I just attack now? Now they have all these 2/4s. I'm gonna attack with, like, the Enigma Drake, I think is my plan. It's like, I want to put some amount of pressure on them, but, like... I mean, the thing is, like, it's not even about... Like, I don't know that many people from chat to know Doki Doki Literature Club, but also... I'm not sure I would expect someone to recognize that quote as specifically being from Doki Doki Literature Club. I love that game. I want to make Tech play it, but for some reason he doesn't want to. It makes me sad. We're still playing against the one and only Pamela. This game has been going on for a while. I like our deck, but it's not incredibly consistent. Also, pretty much every game we've drawn this Totally Lost, it's been like fine, but like would be better as a disperse. Which is just worth noting because, you know, I was talking about like I don't really know how highly to evaluate Totally Lost. It's a card I like in theory, but I don't think it's great, especially in this format. Well, if I touch his face, he'll at least owe me one, right? I'm afraid I'm in the Sayori camp, K-Mac. Okay. Is this what it's come to? Let's go to blocks. Let's kill 2/4. Let's another 2/4. Block third 2/4. And then I think I wanna just block the 3. Like, yeah, my guy dies and it's annoying. I could totally lost it. I don't want to do that. So I take... What do I take here? 2? Okay, 2 is reasonable. Even wind. Annoying, but not the end of the world. Okay, Snapping Drake's a reasonable draw here. They've demonstrated the fact that they're willing to get aggressive, so maybe I'm not supposed to attack this turn? I mean, like, I'm not gonna, like, race them very effectively. Let's be defensive if they're willing to press the issue. Here be, once again, mana flooded. A little bit less so. We've drawn, like, more of our deck this time. Like, we're not as mana... Like, this mountain draw isn't particularly good. I'll say that. I have 3 Enigma Drakes in this deck, I want to point out. I don't think we've ever managed to have 2 out at the same time. We did draw 2 in one game where the first one got killed. But that's about it. Snapping Drake. Cool. I mean, I feel like the thing is that at this rate, they'll have to start, like, it's not so much that we've been flooded as they've just not drawn any of their lands. If they had drawn more of their lands in, like, a reasonable ratio, we'd probably be doing fine here. We're definitely on the verge of not being fine, because they've drawn really well in the sense that at this point they have, like, enough mana to play seemingly all of their spells, and not, like, a single extra land. Did not realize that my chat would have such diverse feelings about Best Doki. Okay. That is annoying. That is annoying. Huh? Do they feel like they can attack this turn? Well, we did draw one of our Enigma Drakes. They don't seem to have Essence Scatter, which is worth noting. We also do know that we have 2 islands on the bottom that we scryed there from Horizon Scholar. I believe... I don't remember if we scryed any other lands to the bottom with the Omen Speakers. I think this is the game where the first Omen Speaker I scryed, yeah, land and Tormenting Voice back to the top. So that one definitely didn't. I don't know about the other one. This game sucks. Okay, that's helpful. That's helpful. So how many, like, attackers do they have, hypothetically? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's like a lot. It's like a lot of attackers. Yeah, I don't think I can attack. I would love to attack. I would love it. Especially since they're at 38. We could easily mill this game. I think we won't. I think the game will be decided by some other means. We do still have a 3rd Enigma Drake we can draw. Just, like, need more, like, ground control to Major Tom. Deck would be sturdy enough to tank the mono red and fast enough to burn through the Teferi deck. Well, that seems to be the issue du jour, cat dreaming, of the standard meta. attack so badly. If I don't hold up all these, like, stupid, excellent attacking creatures. Ugh. No, you can't have Departed Deckhand number 3. The problem with that is, like, not only is it a thing that's basically unblockable, but it also has an activated ability that says, like, something else is basically unblockable. As much as I would like to counter something that isn't a 2-drop, I cannot let them have that card. Oh my god. So we've drawn 12, 13, and we have, like, 14, 15, 16. There's literally only one land in the top, like, 5 cards of our deck. Do we just start attacking? I think we just start attacking. I don't think this is right, but I don't think we can win if we don't start putting some pressure on, even if we draw Enigma Drake, like, perfectly next. I just want to try and build a deck around Karn and Tezra. I mean, that's sort of my goal. The problem is I don't know how to do that effectively. Really? That's interesting. So that is interesting. I think I totally lost the Haven Mage thing. Because, like, then they have, like, fewer attackers, their next draw is, like, not great. I mean, we're gonna take some damage this turn, probably. That's fine. Really? 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 Okay. There are good cards always on the bottom. If we would draw some of these cards in, like, the middle of our deck, we would win these games in, like, less than, like, a half hour or whatever. Maybe we'll win this game. I don't know. I don't know. Whirlermaker by itself isn't super exciting, but I don't think I want to go, like, heavy on energy to make... Is that the one? Is Whirlermaker the red-blue creature? Or is Whirlermaker the weird artifact that you have to pay too much mana to make a battle? Really? That's insane! What's going on? A random... Oh, they're flooded now because they, like, drew super well most of the game. They just have nothing. I see. So this is 16 and 7, which is 1 short of lethal. Good job setting that up, although I didn't know I was drawing that axe. Or I'd be more embarrassed. Alright, next turn I maybe win this game that I probably don't deserve to win. Whirlermaker's the expensive artifact. I like that card. I think it's too slow for standard, because it's like 4 mana to play it and then 4 to make a battle. Wow! That's insane! We somehow defeated the one and only Pamela! Jeez, this draft is ridiculous. Like, all the games are going to turn, like, 80, and then we just, like, hit them with an Enigma Drake. Well, we got to 5. I did say we would probably win exactly 4 or exactly 6, so... If we win the next one, we'll almost certainly lose the next one. Jeez. I don't know if my heart can take much more of this. This draft is intense. Oh, great, and our opponent is Dwelling Despair? How am I supposed to defeat Despair? I can't do that IRL. Oh. Might be the end of the line for old turn 80 Enigma Drake deck. Alright. 2 lands, an Omen Speaker, a Dwindle, and a Disperse. I mean, totally lost and Meteor Golem are not great, but I think I keep this. I think I'm usually happy to keep a 2-land Omen Speaker hand, because, like, between your natural draws and the ability to scry 2, like, bad cards away, you're really likely to hit, you know, some number of the cards you need. And at least, you know, like, Dwindle is like a relevant early game thing. Disperse can do work for cheap. Like, I think this is a keep. It's not a great keep. Touching text space help defeat despair. Well, it might help, but now he's 3,000 miles away, so it's a lot harder to do that than you might otherwise think. Well, it's 3 to cast and 4 to make the Thopter. I don't know. I feel like mono red's like too aggressive to let you do that. Okay. That's not great for us. Let's find some land. Land Enigma Drake. Land Enigma Drake? I think we keep Land Enigma Drake. Like, I don't know, keeping Enigma Drake and not drawing a 4th land seems a little sketchy, but I think it's just probably good enough? Like a bunch of things we can cast. Okay. Not Onake Ogre! No! Our nemesis has returned. Yeah, I think I just dwindled that right away. Normally I might attack with the 1-3 for fun, but red white has some haste stuff. Would I really block like the 3-3? And they would need a turn for the Goblin Motivator to get online. Sure. Attack for 1. How do you like my tie, Mario? Maybe you could defeat your opponent. Oh, maybe you can defeat your opponent if you touch their face. That would get rid of their despair. Would it? I would argue that's not true. I'm assuming that was done for funsies, because that just made it a 0-2. Which, in fairness, was pretty funsies. I feel pretty good about targeting that for Dwindle if their turn was lol, equipped, useless artifact. He's letting me get in. I mean, the alternative is to sacrifice his 0-2. Maybe his deck has some amount of, like, mono-red sacrifice synergies? It is kind of a thing. Let's attack first, I guess. Gonna disperse, or I might attack with the Enigma Drake in case I needed to disperse, but that's just, like, not gonna happen. This is gonna be an interesting game one way or another. They seem to be, like, just super flooded is my assumption. Because this deck would normally want to have played at least, like, 3 creatures by now. We need some cheap creatures in addition to counters. Yeah, but, like, the artifact deck kind of doesn't want to have a lot of creatures. That's part of the, like, weird tension that has made it, like, difficult for me to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with it. Alright, let's attack with Bogart Brood and a 1-1. I don't know what they're representing here. Nothing? Not even, like, Sure Strike or something? Alright, I mean, I got this Disperse if something happens. Yeah, I currently have Aviation Pioneer in the deck, along with Skilled Animator. It has not been great. It just doesn't, like, stand up well against actual threats of any kind. It's, like, good for chump blocking, but the deck isn't fast enough for, like, chump blocking to, like, get you online. Again, I don't think the build of the deck I have right now is very good. So, it's more to it than just that. Is this real life? All of these games today are just ridiculous. This is like the weirdest draft. I don't understand what's happening. Seems like a good Luminous Bonds target. Hey, an Enigma Drake. I mean, currently these Enigma Drakes don't look very good. I suppose I could, like, totally lost their enchantment. Actually, that sounds really good. Wait, 3... Totally lost their thing, then I only get in for, like, 5. If I totally lost their enchantment... Yeah, I think I just totally lost the enchantment and get in with the Enigma Drake. This one. Okay. So now I'm going to attack for a bunch. And they're probably going to chump block the 5-5, because they should, probably. Omen Speaker might actually be good in that deck. It doesn't currently have it. I think I considered it, but opted not to because it's not, like, artifact related, but it might just be good enough. I don't know what our opponent drew, but I feel really sorry for them. This is just, like, an abysmal game for them. Like, our draw's, like, awkward, but, like, we're able to do, like, a bunch of stuff. We've already got, like, Meteor Golem on deck. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, this is not cool for them. Alright, your move. I would emote that, but it would be exceptionally rude. You do have a your move emote, or your go, rather. I mean, I'm more talking about a mechanical tie to the artifacts, although I agree with you that the Omen Speaker may speak the omens of the artifacts that spell our opponent's destruction. More likely they foretell the coming of Karn the Pantsless and Tezzeret the Shirtless. They are a weird team, aren't they? Well, we got to 6, so we're on the bubble now. We either win or lose. I'm not actually just saying that. Now, we've got 2 losses, so if we lose, we're out. But if we win, we hit 7, and so we're good. So, come on, kid. Last shot for the finals. With the shampoo, I give it to you all. It's a good... I made you look tall. Dye your hair flat back and up front. Give it a perm now and you're done? It's been too long since I played Parappa. I used to know, like, every single song, like, all the lyrics start to finish. What do you think of this hand? This hand looks not great. So we don't know how aggressive our opponent is, obviously. Against a slow hand, I think this is fine. Like, Divination, if they're not doing anything, dwindled to stop some pressure. Likely to draw into Gearsmith, Guardian, mana. I don't know. I'm kind of talking myself into this, but I don't know that this is correctly a keep. I think this is good enough that a mulligan's probably worse than this. I don't think this is right, but I'm going to keep it. I think it's probably correct to mulligan this hand. Double Dwindle could do some work. I think Double Dwindle's good against black-green if that's all they're up to. They might have, like, red for an Elder Dragon, which seems like a problem for us. Ooh, they have Dryad Green Seed. Ugh. Yeah, I want to use that Tormenting Voice. But I don't think I should use it on any of these cards. I have, like, 2 removal, 2 creatures I want to keep, and a land that I need in case I don't draw a land, so... I don't think it's a Tormenting Voice turn, but it feels dumb because I'm just wasting 2 mana. Definitely would like to get creature on the board soon. Okay, Elephant Rejuvenator's not super threatening. You know, for the most part, looking back on it, I feel like my decision to cut the Goblin Instigator, the token thing, and... Ooh, nice. And the Switcheroo has played out pretty well. There haven't really been a lot of games where, like, if I had brought those in instead of... What was I considering? Like, Dwindle something, or, like, Cancel Dwindle? Like, I feel like those other cards have been better when I've drawn them. Well, that could ramp past us. Maybe, but our hand is, like, full of Dwindles. I think we just Dwindle that Boar. Dwindle Boar. Like Brindle Boar, but, like, way crappier. It's a -2/3. They got a forest. That's lame. So the thing that this does, by the way, because I don't think I talked about it earlier when I was like, this card should not still be in this bag. Oh, good. It's that good. They get to, like, look at their top card and put it in their hand if it's a land. So, like, it really, like, helps fix their draws and stuff. Oh. Here goes Dwindle Mark II. Okay, they did not draw a land for this turn. Did Notice our opponent was Omega Phoenix. It's the last Phoenix, thus making it an appropriate final boss. Skyscape. Okay. It's not great or terrible. That is annoying. Necroback Basilisk seems to be like a real nuisance to this deck. Double blue? Since there's like literally no double blue thing in the format other than the horsefish I don't have. Okay. Land Frilled Sea Serpent. So the land does not enable us to play the Frilled Sea Serpent, which feels problematic. I do want the land though, so I think I just put the Frilled Sea Serpent on the bottom. Okay. Now I could, like, discard the axe. No, I think I'm supposed to play the axe so I can have the Omen Speaker trade for the Basilisk or something? I don't know. I think I'm playing the axe. This game doesn't look great for us. Our opponent's draw is pretty good, and their deck looks like it's probably pretty good from what we've seen so far also. Okay, we drew another land. Really difficult to deal with this card. And it's kind of difficult to understand on the surface of it why that might be the case. But, like, look at it this way. Whenever we get mana flooded, what if, like, half the time we just, like, removed that land from the top of our deck straight away and put it in our hand? So we could just draw a normal card, which may or may not be another land. But, say, roughly half the time we're getting super flooded, those turns we're instead drawing a spell. I'm going to accept 1 damage. I would not like to trade my Enigma Drake straight up for Titanic Growth. That sounds terrible. Huh. Ooh, that's not good for our current board state. Okay, so here's that land we mentioned earlier. We can play the Gearsmith Guardian, which is probably the correct play on this turn. That's interesting. They didn't attack with the Basilisk, but they played it last turn, right? Why would they not? Our opponents not understand how Death Touch works. Because, like, it's not Death Touch blocking any of my crap. Like, it's not blocking the Drake if I, like, increase its power. And it's not like I'm attacking with the Omen Speaker. So they might as well just attack with it, because I have no good blocks on it. Like, why would you not attack with it? Suspect it's possible that our opponents did. There we go, they figured it out. Maybe they just forgot last turn, because maybe they didn't remember they played it on the previous turn or something. Alright, our opponent definitely has a trick. The way this looks. So I think I just have to be willing to trade something. So, if I block Gearsmith Guardian and Omen Speaker on the Giant Spider, then they're trading 2 cards for the Gearsmith Guardian? Similarly... Yeah, I think I'm supposed to be willing to do this. The Drake block might be wrong. I think Guardian and Omen Speaker is correct. I'd take the 3. I'm pretty sure they have Titanic Growth. Yeah. Okay. In the scheme of things, that's not terrible. We managed to play sufficiently around the Titanic Growth that it didn't, like, get us exactly. So let's go for Omen Speaker. Oh, gosh. I want either of these? I think I want the land. Totally Lost seems kind of slow. We're just, like, not doing anything. Okay, so now that I've gotten the trick out of there, I mean, they could easily have another trick, although wouldn't they have used it to kill the Drake last turn? So I think their attacks are probably just worse now. They may not be able to attack anymore. And they're going off their stupid... They have drawn 7 more cards than us. And, like, are they all from the... No, one of them was from the Rejuvenator. But, like, oh, and one of them was from this. They've drawn, like, 5 lands off Dryad Greenseeker. Like, think about that. They would be at -2 cards in hand if they didn't have the Greenseeker on turn 2. That card is insanely powerful. If we were able to win past it, like, I don't even know what to say about that, frankly. So what if... Well, they're not attacking this turn. Okay, my assumption seems correct. Alright, they're gaining some life. That's fine. Like, they have so much land that the ramp element of that doesn't matter. So I think this turn we Divination. And if we draw, like, 2 lands, then Tormenting Voice. Anything other than that, I want to keep the land so we have Meteor Golem, and we now have Horizon Scholar. So it looks like we might be able to turn a corner here soon. The colors seem pretty good in this format. I think they are, but I think it's, so, like, the way I kind of think of it is this, like, in most formats there are color pairs that are, like, good when they're good, and there are, like, colors that are so strong that if you're correctly in that color during the draft, your deck is probably just good. And I think red-blue you need, like, a certain amount of luck for things to, like, actually break your way. So the question is, do I just Meteor Golem their stupid Brute Dryad? Or do I, like, save that to kill a threat? Can't block that. Okay. I think I'm just gonna... So, like... No. I think I'm supposed to play Horizon Scholar first. I was thinking really hard about this. I think if I Meteor Golem the Giriper guy, it's, like, good for us in the long term. We have a lot of, like, low-powered creatures that can be affected by this ability. Electrify and land. I think I want both of the... No, do I? I don't need the land, because I can discard the land I have to the Tormenting Voice. So the thing is, because they played a flyer last turn, I think I'm supposed to play my flying blocker first. Because, like, that flying blocker can't be affected by their shenanigans anyway. So then I could just, like, dump the Meteor Golem to, like, blow up their ground threat that and also neutralize its ability to, like, make something attack past our stuff. I don't know. I think blue and... Oh, wait. That might be the thing we have to Golem now. That's pretty rough. Because that's 5. Yeah, I can always electrify the smaller dude. That seems fine. Just gonna blow up the 5/5. I really hate when the stuff gets really small. It's not, like, so small that I really think I'm gonna accidentally click a card on either side, but I don't feel good about it, you know? This is what all our games end up looking like. I'm not sure how I would evaluate this deck in hindsight. It's performed well. Part of me thinks that the reason for that is because I've just managed to, like, barely outplay my opponents. Because, like, I don't think our deck is, like, overwhelmingly powerful. Oh god, they have red mana? That's really bad. That suggests that they have, like, Vivectus as Madi, which I absolutely do not want our opponent to have that card in their deck. I'm gonna Tormenting Voice and try and draw into, like, cancel. Because if they're gonna threaten me with an Elder Dragon, I feel much better having an answer to it. Let's play a land, and let's play an additional Enigma Drake. Now I've got cancel and electrify, and it's good. It's good. It's good, you guys. Okay, so let's hit him with the 4-power flyer. The only thing that they have that can block it is this spider. By itself, it doesn't do anything. We know one of the cards in their hand is a forest. Yeah, that seems fun. Okay, So we have to be vigilant about this cancel. We have enough mana, it shouldn't be a problem to like hold it up and do whatever we're doing, because we've already played like the most expensive spells in our deck. Except for the Sea Serpent, which is literally the bottom card of our deck. No, it's like 3 from the bottom because we scried some land. Hey look, it's Vivectus Asmati! Wow, I'm really glad we found that cancel. Holy crap, they had it in hand and they just needed the red mana. Oh. Come on, Banefire. Unfortunately, this deck does not have Banefire, although we recently drafted a deck that had Banefire and our opponent tried to cancel it and it made my day. Whew, wow, I genuinely am having the heart palpitations. That was a spooky one. I think I'm just gonna be cautious here and attack with the 4-power creature, because we'll get there eventually, and I don't want to open myself to some weird alpha strike if I don't have to. Oh, asking for the opponent to have it. Well, that's just rude. Although I'd be impressed if they could Banefire me from 14. I'm not sure I'd be mad about that anymore. What did the Dragon I canceled do? It does like all sorts of stuff. 6 mana, 6/6 flying. When it attacks, for each player, choose a permanent they control. Each player sacrifices the chosen permanent, and then we reveal the top card of our library and put it onto the battlefield if it's a permanent card. So our deck actually has a bunch of spells. So if they start attacking us, they'd like destroy our Enigma Drake and replace it with like a card that gets sent to the graveyard or something. Like, it's really bad. It's really bad for us. What is attacking us? Oh, this Daggerback Basilisk. I will block the Daggerback Basilisk with this 3/3. I've been waiting to make that trade for many moons. Put a stop on my... Don't do that. Alright, so this, and we'll spend some mana to put the axe on the Omen Speaker. I could put it on the flyer, but it doesn't really change our clock any. So actually, let's think about this for a second. So if we electrify them, they go to 12, and then we attack them for 12? Alternatively, we just we electrify the giant spider and like attack them for like 1 billion, and like they actually take that damage, thus reducing their ability to like have shenanigans. Yeah, it seems good. Combat. I think we might get there. We have like 1 turn to try and alpha strike us. We got a couple blockers. We're at 14, which isn't super low. I mean, I guess they have these like other flying blockers. But I kind of figured... Force permacycling with mill over. That's also a good point. Whoa. That's actually a slightly early concede, but we somehow got there with this weird triple Enigma Drake pile. Oh, that feels good. I'm glad I had that read on the Vivectus Asmati, because like if I hadn't dug for the cancel and then canceled, like held up the cancel mana, which I don't think it's really possible that that plays out that way. But if that had happened, we probably would have lost that game pretty hard. Whew. Wow, we did it. We got 950 gems. We got some packs. Let's open some packs, guys. Got Dragon. We got that clutch Electrify that saved us there. And a Goreclaw. You know, we saw Goreclaw earlier. It wanted to join our crew. Hey, look! Groot also wanted to join our side. All our opponent's best cards have joined our collection. And we got Thorn Lieutenant. Oh, remember that time that we dwindled the Thorn Lieutenant? That was a game. I don't know. Core 19 is not my, like, favorite core set ever, but it's definitely generated some really interesting games. It has been a pretty good format. And a modern card that will do almost nothing online. Should we take a look at card? I mean, we can. For the purposes of this YouTube recording, I'm going to thank you for watching. Hope that you enjoyed this marvelously weird draft. And I hope that you'll join me for some draft in the future. You can catch me, VascoDaGamer, on Twitch. I usually stream 4:30 Wednesday afternoons. I'm kind of looking into maybe changing the schedule in August, so we'll see. There's a lot of things that are maybe happening this month, but we'll talk about it. But I recommend you follow me, VascoDaGamer, on Twitch to know when I'm streaming. You can also follow me on Twitter, @VascoDaGamer, for the latest updates. I always post things there. Hoping to get a Facebook page online for myself relatively soon, but I think it's a little ways off because I'm terrible at graphic design, and I want it to at least pretend to look a little nice before I put it online. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. That was a really weird draft. I didn't expect to be playing red-blue again, and it worked out a little better than last time, so yay! Also, check out all these sweet narwhals. Let's end on that. Bring out the giant narwhal jar again. Oh, it's good stuff. Alright, see you in the future, guys. Bye, YouTube!